Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Benedicta, I'm obsessed with Star Stable, and I upload all sorts of Star Stable related content on my horse-themed Instagram, which I just call Horstagram. That includes outfits, edits, drawings, cosplays, and really anything Star Stable. And now I make videos about this game because I'm that obsessed. However, as you can probably tell by the title, today we are going to talk about something a little different from my usual content. I always avoid any sort of drama or any problematic situation, and I always want to make content that is fun, lighthearted, silly. I just want to keep my content, my channel, my Instagram page safe and completely drama and problem-free. But the current ban situation is incredibly sad, and I just felt the need to talk about it, because the way some people behave is so unacceptable that I feel like it just needs to be talked about. Thanks to my following on Instagram, I was fortunate enough to have a really good view on the whole situation, from multiple angles, because there were people helping me see multiple sides of multiple stories. I will obviously not say any names, not any names of people who were harassing others, and not any names of the people who were helping me. But I would like to say thanks to all the people who have been helping me and shared their own experiences with me about everything. So, let's start from the beginning. As you guys probably already know, a bunch of accounts were banned after the update on the 5th of February. SSO put out a news article on their page about the cheating ban on the 27th of January, warning us about what's to come. I'll put the news page on the screen, you can stop the video and read it, you can go to SSO's page and read it, but to summarize it, it's a zero tolerance policy, meaning any account that uses unauthorized modifications or tools that gives players an unfair advantage would be banned. SSO also said here that using ReShade was still completely safe and will not result in a ban. However, this was not SSO's only warning, obviously. The terms and conditions, which you have to agree to before playing the game, by the way, say it clear as day, that you are not allowed to use these cheats and tools. Here it is on the screen. You literally have to read and agree to these terms and conditions before playing the game, even for a minute. Just like literally any other game, if you have ever played anything in your entire life, this is something you know. This is common practice, literally every game ever does this. Literally anything ever, actually. It's called the law. And I guess you could say, oh, but nobody reads those terms and conditions, everybody just clicks on accept and moves on to playing the game. And yes, sure, true. To that, however, all I have to say is this.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
No, sorry. Actually, what I have to say to it is this. Not knowing the law is not an excuse. So now that we made all that clear, let's move on to what happened on the actual day the update came out and when the bans happened. I was at home when I received a message from my girlfriend saying that she was worried because apparently people's SSO accounts were getting banned for using ReShade, which, if you don't know, is a software you can run while playing a game that allows you to make slight visual improvements to your game. For example, it can add the background blur, different effects to make it seem like it's night in the game, or make it seem like it's stormy or it's winter or anything really. There are all kinds of ReShade presets you can download to make your game appear a little different, and a lot of players use it, as far as I know, mostly for taking photos and videos. Back to the story. So I got my worried girlfriend's message and I went to SSO's Instagram immediately to investigate. And upon opening the comment section of their latest post at that time, I saw that there were many people complaining about their accounts being banned for using ReShade. My girlfriend was so worried because she was also a ReShade user, and she plays on and does SSO photography on multiple SSO accounts, and she was afraid that using ReShade got her banned as well. She did check all of her accounts and none of them were banned, of course. I usually never read comments under any posts, but this time I did, and what I saw was unbelievable. Even though Star Stable and the Game Master both made it clear in pinned comments that using ReShade is still safe, people called SSO liars, and a lot of disgusting comments, threats, profanities, and misinformation started spreading across the comment section. A lot of people made up stuff about SSO's methods. Some of these false accusations were stuff like SSO used AI to ban accounts, which Star Stable made clear that this was not the case. Others claimed that they only used ReShade and got banned for no reason, and Star Stable made it clear that they are investigating all these cases, and so far every account that was banned had indeed used third-party tools that they were not allowed to use. A lot of people started coming up with random numbers as to how many accounts were banned. Some said 80%, some said 37%, some said half of the player base were banned. That 37 is so random, by the way, and it's especially funny how the person was like, oh, I don't know, my friend told me that it's 37%, like, yeah, I'm sure your friend knows better than anyone. Anyway, Star Stable confirmed that only 0.5% of all active accounts were banned. And at the time when they released this information, all of those accounts that were banned and required their case to be reviewed turned out to be actual cheaters who really did use unauthorized third-party tools. I'm saying at the time when they said this because since then there has been one instance that I know of where somebody was wrongfully banned, but we will talk about that a little bit later in this video. So to make it very clear, literally everyone, except for this one person, literally everyone who got banned and whose case was investigated turned out to be a real cheater. I'm saying it this way, by the way, because all these account ban investigations are still happening, the teams are still going through these banned accounts, but as of right now, at the time when I'm making this video, the situation is still the same. Every banned account that was banned and stayed banned so far has proven to be a cheater account. So, now that we talked about this, I want to go back in time a little and talk about my own experiences and the things I learned about other players. So the day the update and the bans came out, other friends also reached out to me and voiced their concerns, saying that they are using ReShade and that they are afraid of losing their accounts. Others told me that their friends are using ReShade and that those people's accounts got banned. Interestingly enough, from all the messages I got from different people, I discovered a pattern. Everyone who I knew personally who claimed to have only used ReShade and reached out to me was fine, and their accounts were all safe. However, multiple people reached out to me saying that even though they are fine, their friends have been banned and those people also claimed to only have used ReShade. So I started investigating a little, which was a bit difficult at first because I'm sure this is something many of us are familiar with, but a lot of us SSO players have multiple names. Real names, nicknames, names on main and alt accounts, etc. So a lot of us are being referred to as many different names by many different people. But eventually, I found out that someone who claimed to have only ever used ReShade was the same person who weeks prior to the ban situation told me in private message that they used a cheating software to manipulate the game in a way that was against the terms and conditions. So at this point, I already knew about one person who lied about cheating. This kept me going and I started investigating some more, and I learned about multiple players I was friends with in-game that they were also doing the same, publicly claiming that they only used ReShade while admitting to or even bragging to others about all the ways they cheated and manipulated the game in an unlawful way. Again, I won't include any names, I won't include any quotes or anything. I simply do not believe in this kind of attacks and exposing of people or anything like that, and I'm going to tell you why or why not a bit later. But I still want to handle this whole situation with respect and kindness, and I do not wish to expose the identity of these people, as I don't want them to be attacked or receive any threats or unwanted attention. I am simply trying to share my own experiences and my own view of the situation. Thanks to my following, thanks to the people who reached out to me and told me that they were fine after using ReShade, and those people who told me that their friends who were banned actually used more than just ReShade, I was able to draw a conclusion. Everyone who used only ReShade was actually fine, and their accounts were not banned. Everyone who was banned turned out to be an actual cheater, even if they claimed to have only used ReShade. And none of these instances were just empty allegations. I saw the proof with my own eyes, I saw them admitting to using cheats. Thankfully, I was also contacted by a different crowd as well. I shared 2 stories about this on my Instagram, and a few people texted me saying that they indeed cheated and that they regret it now, and they accept and recognize that it was their own fault. They know that they made a mistake and now they have to deal with the consequences. To these people, thank you so much. I'm really glad to see that this type of people also exists. Sadly, someone also said that they got some serious, mean messages by others who said that cheaters should unalive themselves, which is obviously insane and completely unacceptable. And I'm really sorry that you got these kind of messages. If you're watching this, I hope you are doing alright. And this is why I don't include names, messages, screenshots, anything that could refer to anyone's identity, because I do not wish this type of attack upon anyone. And also, even though it looks like right now every account that got banned and stayed banned was banned for a good reason, but I would like to still give people the benefit of the doubt. Is it possible that there were some people who got banned for no reason? Sure, it is possible, and maybe some accounts will be unbanned. As of the time when I'm making this video, I know of exactly one instance where someone was banned, they contacted customer support, and their account was unbanned 4 hours later, and they also received an apology from SSO for the inconvenience, because that ban was a genuine mistake, according to this person. So chances are slim, but it's possible. But you cannot blame me for believing SSO after seeing people who were close to me lie about the cheats. And also, no matter what, nothing justifies the disgusting behavior some people showed towards SSO, not even being banned by mistake. However, the story does not end here. Sadly, many people who were caught cheating could not accept the consequences of their own actions, and I have seen some terrible things. Not only did some people go completely insane in the comment section of SSO's post about some unbelievable stuff, like bombing the headquarters, I have seen many messages on other social media, where these cheaters discussed how they would make more accounts just to cheat and steal from Star Stable, and how some of their cheating accounts are still active and not banned. I have also seen people saying some very threatening stuff that insinuated some sort of violent attack towards the people who work at Star Stable, by mentioning how they would show up with knives and guns. Again, just to make it clear, these were all said by people who cheated, whose accounts were banned, and who admitted themselves that they used cheating tools. Nobody here was an innocent player whose account was banned for no reason. Even though, again, that would also not justify this kind of behavior. I also saw people encouraging others to harass people who work for SSO. I saw them saying that players should spam the DMs of SSO employees, and I even saw that a group was spam emailing the CEO of Star Stable. Again, let me reiterate, these people were all cheaters, there is proof of them cheating, and they admitted to being cheaters. So those who were actually rightfully banned, because they were cheaters, were the same people who wanted to attack Star Stable, even though being banned was their own fault. I hope you see how absolutely mental this is. And by the way, the story still doesn't end here, because these people are still attacking other players, harassing SSO employees, and they are still trying to make the situation much worse than it actually is. So, if you by any chance recognize yourself in this video, if you think that I am talking about you, I hope you can appreciate that I kept your privacy, because genuinely, honestly, I do not wish you anything but the best, and I truly mean it. I hope that you will be able to learn from this. I hope that you will be able to come back and start anew and still enjoy the game and the community. Or if you do not wish to return to SSO, I hope you find genuine joy in another game and can have a peaceful, fun, happy experience with a different community. But if you still cannot see how your behavior is negative and harmful, and if you still think that attacking, harassing, and threatening people is okay and justified and is the right thing to do, just because you cannot accept that you have to face the consequences of your own actions, then I am really sorry. But I do not think that you have a place in this community. I think that you need to be removed from the game, from the community, because we do not need this type of toxicity. Also, on an even more serious note, I'm sorry, I'm really going to bring the mood down right now. But let me just say this. These cheaters who were threatening and harassing others were just quote-unquote regular players. Players who wanted to have items for free, players who wanted to win championships, people who wanted flying horses, stuff like that. And these people were this dedicated and this adamant about fighting back, about attacking and making the situation even worse and to ruin Star Stable. Regular players. So just imagine how dedicated and adamant some people will be who are not just regular players, but those type of players who gain an entirely different type of, let's say, profit from the whole cheating. I'm talking about child predators. I am not as educated or knowledgeable on this topic because to me it is honestly hard to even think about. The whole thing makes me wanna launch myself into outer space so I never have to see humanity ever again. But I did hear that these cheats can also be used to gain control over children who don't know any better, who don't understand cheats and don't know who they can or cannot trust. Sometimes the desperation of these children will make them try to look for alternative ways to get stuff or achieve things in the game. And sometimes they will be contacted by these dangerous predators, who will easily gain control over them by promising that they will get them stuff in the game in exchange for unthinkable things, which will ruin children's lives forever. Because they do not know any better, it will seem like a fair trade at the time, but then they will be trapped by these predators who can exploit and blackmail them into doing even worse things. These monsters are among us, so please, if you are watching this, remember it is not worth cheating. If you ever get contacted by any of these people who offer you cheats, always say no. Never under any circumstance should you say yes. It can get you in serious trouble, and you might face some unimaginable, life-ruining consequences. Anyway, this was a heavy topic, and I'm sure that there will be people who do not agree with me, but I stated my opinion, I shared my experience, do what you wish with it. And I'm really sorry to all of you guys. I know this is not my regular content, but I feel like I was someone who had such a good overview of the situation and saw it unfold from so many different angles, thanks to all the people who talked to me and helped me, that I thought I must share what I know. I must support and stand with Star Stable, because this seemed to be the right thing for me to do. And I also do realize that since we are talking about false allegations, lying, cheating, and I'm talking about all of this while basically I'm not showing any visual proof, you could also just as well say that I am the one lying right now. I do genuinely just want to protect the identities of everyone involved, because, as I've mentioned before, people have already been targeted and harassed and threatened and were told to, unalive themselves for cheating, which I believe is completely unacceptable, and I want everyone who was affected by the ban to still be safe, because there is the option that these people are still just people who are just very angry right now, who just wanted some advantages in-game, who thought nothing of it at the time. I do not wish harm upon anyone, and so I do believe that I must keep every private information private. I hope you guys understand that I'm just sharing what I learned, and I'm really not trying to cause any harm or make it worse for anyone. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. I promise that one will be more fun. Goodbye.